Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Suzanne. It is just now 6 o'clock. So I wanted to get going. I know a lot of you were not going to be able to join me on time. So jump in whenever you can. There's a little chat box on the side of your Zoom. If you come across any questions, you've all been muted as you are entering into the chat. So, of course, if you need to interrupt, you'll have to unmute yourself. But I just wanted to say thank you for having interest, of course, of joining me tonight, just to hear a little bit more about this amazing trip to Cartagena. Cartagena is on the Caribbean side of Colombia. So it sits on the Caribbean Sea and has gorgeous, beautiful weather, especially when we're going in February, around 80, 85 degrees. So, especially if you're a place that lives in the snow or in the cold in winter, you might really want to think about joining us on this trip. So, I'm going to share my screen here with you. I've made a little presentation for us. Yay, yay, technology. Okay, so first off, this is just a presentation about our trip to Cartagena. The dates are February 4th to the 10th. This is I put together kind of some of our pictures from our trip last year. We had such an amazing time. You see a lot of the culture here. You'll see the vibrant yellow, green, yellow, blue, red colors. A lot of African, Cuban, Central American, South American combination here in Cartagena. It's really a big melting pot of a lot of cultures and communities. And then you see, of course, Kevin there soaking in Tatumo mud volcano. So again, we'll come across that here in a second. So what is actually included in a whole 7-day adventure? So day one, we arrive into Cartagena. On our excursion here, we will be staying at the Ananda Boutique Hotel, which is a little different than where we were last year. I wanted something a little bit more intimate, a little more unique. We're going to be in the historical region of Cartagena, so everything is within walking distance. Coffee shops, of course, the gelatos, any of the museums, the wall, the colonial wall, the ocean, all of these things are really close by with us, and we can walk everywhere. Of course, there's tuk-tuks, there's other things around that you can get rides on. Of course, there's like a cart with horses that sometimes comes through. So there's lots of different ways that you can get around Cartagena. So when we get there, we also include airport shuttle, and this is really nice because we put it on both ends. So you have an airport shuttle included in your ride on the first day as well as the last day. One less thing you have to think about. The airport also is very close. On no traffic days, you might get back to our hotel within 15 minutes. So if for some reason you can't make the shuttle that we have organized, we can easily find you a shuttle that can get you there and back to the hotel, anything like that you need, really inexpensively. This is a picture of our deck here at the Ananda Boutique Hotel. Definitely recommend you look them up online. It's a beautiful location. The next day, once we get there, we will start off just with a historical walking tour. I like setting trips up like this in new places because it helps us to get our bearings of not only the streets where we're located, but also to start to understand the historical component of Cartagena. It is deeply immersed in a lot of history, and it's got lots of hints and things that are just kind of there for you. If you hadn't had somebody walk you around and show you, you may just walk by them. So the historical tour, yes, we will look like tourists for a little bit, but I promise you it's very much amazing, informative tour. After we finish the walking tour, we'll come back to our place, we'll get changed, we'll add some clothes, and we get to go to the Chotumo mud volcano. And this is one of those things where you just have to do it. You just have to do it. It's there's only a few locations in the world where you can actually do a mud bath in a volcano. And it's not like a giant volcano like what you're thinking of probably, but kind of this small mound. And a village runs the volcano mud bath. And it goes down. I won't even tell you how deep this mud bath is, but you float in it. The viscosity is so dense that you float at the top. And then these gentlemen, you can kind of see his hat there, the brown hat. He is giving Kevin a massage. Really, just a very unique experience. You have to do it. It's just something you just have to do. Not only does your skin feel amazing, but you'll be smiling and laughing for weeks. I still laugh at the photos. They're pretty comical. This is just a picture. We were on the walking tour last year, kind of one of the more central parks that we got to stop in. Of course, notice everybody's hats. You don't have to pack a hat. You can buy one in Cartagena. They have amazing hats. Another way for us to explore Cartagena is on the water. So we do spend a day with the kayaks down at the beach. You can kind of see the buildings in the background. So this is another side of Cartagena, the much more newer region that has been developed with all these hotels and apartments, Boca Grande. So it's cool to see this other side of Cartagena, the more modernized side. But also we get to use the kayaks at your leisure there on the beach, and we'll have a picnic lunch for us there. It's a really beautiful day to just enjoy where you're at and be around at a local beach. Day 4, we put this into the trip to just rest and give you an opportunity to explore Cartagena on your own. Definitely noticed in the past trips, sometimes if we just keep hitting the itinerary, you kind of lose the opportunity to really get a little lost in Cartagena. And if there might be some places that you've seen along the way by this point that you wanted to shop at, maybe there was a museum that piqued your interest, or maybe a different walking tour. We've had some people join like more of like a foodie walking tour, if that's something you're into. Some people decide to take this day to get a massage, sit by the pool, and really just take a day to relax, just to rest. All of these days all of the days all include yoga. So the yoga classes sometimes are in the morning and sometimes are in the evening, just depends on the itinerary that we have that day. But the yoga is intended, this isn't what we call a yoga retreat. This is what we call a yoga or wellness adventure, because we offer yoga as another activity during your week to help you feel like you are on a vacation, that you're taking care of yourself. Not only are you exploring a new place, but you're eating amazing food, you are moving your body, stretching. It's not like you're going to get home and feel absolutely zonked. You are going to feel refreshed, because we get to have these opportunities where we get to do some breath work, we get to do some stretching. It's not going to be your intense vinyasa classes. If you've ever come to my class at the studio, it's not going to be this go, go, go type yoga. So it's a little bit more about helping the body as you travel, helping you ground, and just really be able to slow your pace so that by the time you get home, you feel rested and you have a great memory of your trip there. This also is, we offer 2 different things on day 4, on your rest day, that you can join in on. So one of them is salsa dancing, super fun. It's about an hour-long class, and it's at this women's studio there in Cartagena, and we have assistants there, of course, to help us. But just another really fun way, because the next few nights we might want to go salsa dancing. So it's pretty cool to get this lesson with them. The other option is a drum workshop. And this one is cool because I'm going to pull up, you get to play around. The music in Cartagena is, again, a melting pot, but you have champeta, which is a style of music, as well as cumbia. And you're going to hear these all over Cartagena. Just at nighttime, it's so vibrant. The city comes alive with music. You can walk everywhere and pick any type of music that just is pouring out of the windows. It's just such an amazing place. So this drum workshop gives you an opportunity actually to try a few of those different techniques. And if you're more musically inclined, this might sound more fun to you than salsa. But we'll have a team there with us to help kind of go over the history of the drumming and different types that you might hear, again, along the rest of our nights when we're there, that you might be able to start to pick out and discern what type of music that is. Another thing we've also done too in the past is the rum tours. So if you like to drink rum and just want to kind of see what the different type of rum is, we have the place we've gone that we love to go to. They have a plentitude of rum. It's so many different types to try that you didn't even know. And then they do pairings too. So there's lots of fun little things that we can do in the evenings together, but you could also have time alone. So notice in this itinerary, we do not have dinner scheduled for you every night. We have our first dinner together, and that's just to kind of introduce ourselves, to really set the tone, let you rest from traveling to get to Cartagena. But the other nights, we're going to give you loads of suggestions and ideas, and we can still all go to dinner together. But if you were like, no, I really wanted to try something this, maybe you love raw fish, maybe you want to have a little bit more of the fried African Cuban type food, there's places everywhere. One thing about Cartagena, because it is a melting pot, the restaurants are, some of them are the most amazing restaurants that I've eaten at. Extremely creative food, as well as, of course, you can drink or eat some of the local dishes and local cuisine, but there's all of these other avenues that you can explore. Of course, being near the sea and the ocean, they have a lot of different seafood options. We have had people come in the past that are vegetarians, as well as gluten-free, and all these things they're very capable of accommodating with. So don't feel like Cartagena, if you don't eat meat and you don't eat fish, you will still have plenty of dishes to try and to eat. I would say some of the fruit that we have eaten in Cartagena, I have never seen anywhere else. Everything is basically in season. So everything that you see at your grocery store that shows up here and there is from Colombia. They have all of the fruit trees, all of the mangoes, pineapples, the dragon fruits, the passion fruits. All of these things are grown there in Colombia. So you will never have a shortage of fruit. That's for sure. We also go, this is again, another one of everybody's favorite day is when we go on the Rosario Island. So you see kind of the fun little speedboat down there. We do have our own private boat, and it does fit all of us. We load it up with any drinks that people want to bring with you, and we're gone for the day. We get to enjoy the sun. We get to be outside and get on that blue crystal water. The water truly is actually that color. It's not a joke. So you'll see, and this information is on our website. So you can always look at this a little bit more in detail on the website. But on day 5, this is the boating day, snorkeling day. We stop off at a little area that's more shallow and billions of fish that you get to go and snorkel and check out. We have all the stuff for you too. You don't have to bring your snorkel equipment unless you want to. Then we go over to one of our own little areas in the Rosario Island. So kind of like you see here, Shelly is on a swing here at Isla Medusa. And this is just one of many little spots that you can hop onto on the beach, and you get to rest on the beach. They have the palapas outside. Again, you get to have all of your tropical drinks. You can explore the beach. You can book a massage. Lots of ways for you to explore just another side of Cartagena. What else? It's basically an all-day thing. So we get back, you'll go home and maybe shower up for dinner. You can eat at our hotel, or again, eat from one of the many places that we have to offer. This is a picture I just thought was really funny. This is Tammy and myself, and this is the Getsemani neighborhood. And this is it's an area that's a little bit off of Cartagena, again, all within walking distance. But the Getsemani neighborhood is much more of your artistic area. You have a lot more music that is coming out, again, like I was describing, coming out the doors, coming out the windows. There's even a Havana restaurant there that's pretty well known in the area for their music. Of course, it doesn't open till 8 o'clock at night. So Plan on having late nights so that you can be able to walk around, which is totally safe. And then in the daytime, the Getsemani area is amazing to see all of the murals. So if you like art, you like to see what art is being on the walls in different cities. This is probably one of my most favorite things to do whenever I visit new cities to myself. I like to see the art. I like to see the murals, the beautiful ones, the historical ones. I like to see the ones that are cultural, kind of explain a little bit of what the town or the city itself is going through or what they're dealing with. So in the Getsemani area, very beautiful, amazing areas. They've got streets that are lined with umbrellas, those bright umbrellas. I think I have a picture in here for you to see that. Some of the streets are lined with colorful flags. So Cartagena is colorful, very, very colorful, musical, artistic, culinary. It just checks all the boxes, I think, for us for our wellness adventure. It's a pretty amazing place. So on day 6, just another way to explore Cartagena is through the food. Like I was saying, it's a melting pot. You got lots of different influences coming into Cartagena. So we're going to start off at the Bizerto market. And this is definitely a very traditional market. So forget all the grocery stores you've seen around here. Swap meets don't even compare. The Bizerto market is where everybody goes. This is not a very tourist type place. It's not where tourists would go. But that also gives you a great insight into the daily life of the people from Cartagena that live there. It's where you can find all of those fruits, all your vegetables. You could buy your umbrellas, your radios, maybe a hammer. So it's a giant marketplace for every produce and product that you need. So we're going to shop along the way with our chef, and then we'll go back to his place for a cooking class. I'd say it's more like a cooking presentation. You can become as involved as you like. Some people just like to watch the preparation, and some of us like to actually participate so we can take some of these dishes home. The chef will go through kind of similar, again, based on all of our diets and be able to modify anything we need. But we're going to be there for about 3 hours and really get a hands-on experience of some of these local dishes that we probably have been trying along the way. And you finally get a chance to actually see how they're prepared. One thing, for instance, that they make is a very different coconut rice, and it's brown. Normally coconut rice I've had is more white. You can see the coconut milk. This one's very different. There's a very specific ingredient. So you'll have to pay attention to that. It's very interesting. That's our last night there, and we depart the next day. So of course we'll have some yoga. We have breakfast every morning at our hotel. They're going to present us with a really beautiful, lovely breakfast. Again, preparing for all diets, anything you guys need. And then we're going to transfer you back to the airport for your flight home. Sad. Again, this is kind of just some of our pictures from last year. Like I was saying, the umbrella street, very colorful. This is just kind of, the buildings are blue next to yellow, next to orange. Everything is so vibrant. And especially for us that are kind of hibernating in the wintertime, this is amazing. It's amazing to be in the warmth, the fruits, the vegetables, the color, the music. It's all just comes right together. It's a beautiful place. Of course, there's still some wild animals. You might see some iguanas up there in the trees, some little monkeys, things like that. And then on the streets down the bottom corner here is a woman preparing us our coconut water. So it gets pretty hot, and that coconut water is quite fantastic. They know what they're doing with that. So what's included? The meals, like I was saying, your breakfast is included. You've got 4 lunches that we will be, most likely will be on, like I was saying, at the beach. We've prepared everybody a really healthy, lovely lunch, picnic lunch. And then we have our first dinner out. And these are what is included. And that's not to be said that we won't have dinner together again. It's more of, but this one's included. And the other nights we can decide as a group, or you can go off if you're with a friend or a couple. You guys can go and explore where you want to go to as well. The activities that are included, of course, are yoga. That's with me. And it's for all levels. Like I said, yoga when we travel, especially when it's not a yoga retreat, is intended to help you stretch, to prepare for the beginning of the day. Or maybe you've been on your feet all day, and we take the evening classes and we do more restorative, more gentle, maybe a little bit more stretching type yoga classes. It includes, of course, the Tatumo mud volcano, the city walking tour of Cartagena, the kayak and the beach day, the salsa or the drum workshop, as well as our Rosario Islands boat ride. That is one of the days that we have lunch, of course, that it's included. And then the Bizerto market and the hands-on cooking class. So those are all going to be included in your activities. Few more pictures. As you can notice, I mean, the bougainvillea here, blooming all over. Bougainvillea is everywhere in Cartagena, just to help keeping the vibrancy of the city as you're walking around it. It's really beautiful. I probably said that 900 times, but I'm serious. Lots of artists, painters, sculptors. You're going to come across lots of things that you're going to want to take home with you. I know this last group that we had, of course, you can see all the hats. Everybody went home with a hat. But we had some people buy knockers, like giant door knockers, because there's a whole history of these different animals and even octopus that are on doors as their knockers. So we had some people that wanted some of those to take home. Of course, clothing. I think I bought like 10 dresses. And I'm sure I'll buy 10 more when I go back again. So a really metropolitan or cosmopolitan, gorgeous area, especially if you like shopping. There's some pretty cool stuff. Included services also is, like I was saying, you've got a round trip airport transfer, and that has air conditioning. It's a requirement. As well as any of the shuttling that we have to do in between for any of these activities. Like I mentioned, we love to be able just to walk around the city. It's the best way to explore. But when we have to go to, say, the Tatumo mud volcanoes, we need transportation. So all of those are going to be included. Any type of time that we need to get out of Cartagena, we have a van, and that's included. We also have English speaking guide, our guide that is there to do the historical city tours, anytime again that we're going out of Cartagena or is one of our activities, we have a Spanish speaking guide with us. And hopefully we'll get Roberto again. He was amazing. Amazing English, of course, and lots of great recommendations. So this is where we like to source and hire somebody that is from Cartagena and really give us the true insight into the city that we're exploring. This is also different. We have included in here any of the tips for the porters, the guides, and the drivers. Cartagena is a very tip-heavy culture. You tip the guy that moves your bags. You tip the guy that drives you here. You tip this guy. You tip that guy. It's a lot of tipping. So just to try and consolidate it, we've actually already put it into the tour guide and the drivers so that you don't have to worry about giving this extra money this way. You would need to still consider tip for any dinners, any extra drinks or things like that you might want to tip on, but I just didn't want you feeling like you were constantly shelling out money. This is a big thing because it gets pretty annoying. Things that aren't included though, of course, are services, things like the rum tour, like I was saying, if that's something you're interested in, that's an additional cost. Any of the personal expenses, our Hotel Ananda has a massage center in there, and I know I'm planning on getting a massage at least once, maybe twice if I can afford it there during the trip. Your international airfare is not included, and if there's any taxes that are involved with coming in, sometimes I don't remember if Cartagena does, but I don't think they do. But some places they charge you money for a visa. If you needed your bags carried for you at the airport, that would be an additional cost. Again, it's one of those tipping things that you tip them for that. Some people like to check in early, like to stay longer. That if that's you, we can try to facilitate that for you and see, but of course that would be at your own cost. Any alcoholic drinks, personal expenses or entrance fees for optional activities, of course, that's up to you. And travel insurance. We get this question a lot. Should I buy traveler's insurance? Especially with COVID in the past couple of years, it'd be silly for me to say don't do it. But at the same time, it's up to you. It's not required. Travel insurance can help to cover any last minute costs if something comes up or you happen to get sick or something happens to a loved one that you need to cancel your trip. This does cover you. The caveat is that you have to purchase traveler's insurance up to 20 days from putting your deposit down. And you can, of course, buy insurance after that, but the price goes up. So keep that in mind. If you haven't signed up for the trip and you know that you want to have that extra traveler's insurance, let me know. I have a few companies that I've worked with. Nomad is one that I've used before. I know on WeTravel, they have their own traveler's insurance. So just read the fine print, look and see if it's something really that's going to help you and cover some of those costs. This is, I just wanted to kind of give you a little peek into our boutique accommodation. So like I said, we're going to be staying at the Ananda Hotel, and it's centrally located, some really beautiful rooms. This is, you can see here, this is the king room. And then down in the bottom corner are, if you're doing a shared room, that's what those look like as well. Bathroom up there in the top corner. Small hotel, not big. And again, this was by design. I did not want a large hotel, but I wanted something local that we could basically take over. So, golden question, what is the cost? Just a few things to think of. Registration does close for this on November 25th or when the last spot is taken. The pricing that you see here is per person. So double occupancy, it'd be $26.39 per person. And a double occupancy is, we don't typically assign roommates. If you wanted a double occupancy room, but you don't have one yet, I would have you book the single occupancy room. And if we came across having a roommate for you, someone else who needed a roommate, we would then move you in and adjust the price for that for your double occupancy rate. The deposit is only $300. So this is what is required to sign up. And then you can decide how you want to pay this. Some people like to pay the deposit today, and then they want to do one lump sum by November 25th. That's fine. Another option is that I know we're getting close here on months. We've had some people that have booked this trip with us and have been paying smaller amounts along the way. And we can try to break this up for you over the next 3 months before November. So we can break it up that way if that's necessary. But the standard way that it's going to do this is it's going to take your deposit today at booking, and then it's going to set a final amount to pay, one lump sum. So if that doesn't work, let me know. We can work with you on this and try and get that done. Like I said, we do need the payments made by the end of November. If you notice here too, double occupancy room, I have a few more of those, but I only have 3 single occupancy rooms left. So only 3 of those large king size rooms left. And so that goes into some of our double occupancy rooms that we have left. But I have, as of today, I have 7 spots open. So 7 people, not 7 rooms, but I have room for 7 more people. So hopefully that's one of you. Hopefully one of you guys will grab this. So what is the next step? Sign up. www.flowyogaadventures.com. That's where you're going to see the link to click, and it will take you to our company that's facilitating this trip with us, Fit for Travel. And it will walk you through wanting to know your passport, birth date. That's where you're going to put the credit card payments in. And it'll send you, it'll also have a waiver for you to click, and just so you understand all the terms and conditions for that. So you're going to get the deposit paid through that site. Like I said, the next payment is due at the end of November. So how it goes from here, once you've placed your deposit, 2 months out, I need to make sure I start to get flight information. So for us, that'd be in December. I do watch airfares. This is kind of one of my weird things that I like to do. But I like to look at airfare all the time. So I'm keeping my eye on it, but I suggest you do too on Google Flights. You're going to want to find a good flight. Those are going to start to come up here real soon. Planning for winter. The flights are going to be low right now up until about 3 months prior. So that means November, you're going to want to have an air flight, at least starting to think about that, maybe purchasing it already. The airport in Cartagena, tell you here, is CTG, the Cartagena International Airport. So make sure that's what you're searching when you're looking up prices for the flights. 1 month out is when I send you packing list ideas, as well as some restaurant suggestions or some extra activities, especially if you let me know that there's something else you're really interested in. Maybe it's artwork, like I mentioned, food, rum, music. We can start to really get together and customize this trip with you, to find some amazing places that you feel like you're ready to explore once you get there. 2 weeks out is when I send the itinerary. It's a loose itinerary, but at least you get a good idea of where you're headed. Let's see. I know I had a few questions here, so I want to make sure to get to those. But yeah, your next step here is just go on the website, take another look at it. All the information I went through tonight is on there for you. So a few questions that I have received. Is Colombia safe? Yes, the answer is yes. Colombia, Cartagena definitely was, if you've grew up watching Romancing the Stone, you're going to think that Cartagena is the Wild West. Or Colombia, but it's really walkable, feel very safe at night. I wouldn't say that you need to be go walking around by yourself. It's good idea to have somebody walking with you because you're a tourist, you don't know everything in the area, but no issues, no problems have we had in Cartagena before. So yes, it's safe. It's still a country that's under development, so you don't want to be, naive and walk around with a bunch of money and really fancy things, but very safe there. Again, like I said, I went with a group of women last year and we had no problems. Everyone felt very safe to be out at night, to be walking around, going from the bars to the restaurants, going from Getsemani back into the old walled area, the colonial district, lots of places. And they know this is a tourist area. They want you to be safe. So you're going to see a presence of police just there to make you feel that you're safe, or if there was some problem, you would have somewhere to go to. So yes, Colombia is safe. Do we have downtime? Yes, you will have lots of downtime where, again, I don't want you to come home feeling like you have just had a whirlwind trip. I want you to be able to feel like you've explored and really seen in and outside of Cartagena. But I also want you to feel rested. I want you to feel like you have gone on a little vacation and you've really taken care of yourself. You've had loads of time just to sit, watch the sunset. They are the most beautiful, spectacular sunsets. Well, for me, I always think the sunsets are gorgeous, but this is a beautiful place. You have wide open ocean, you have the colonial walled city, and you're sitting on top of it watching the sunset. It's magical. What kind of yoga will we practice? This is also, I was mentioning this earlier, the type of yoga we practice is more vinyasa based, so breath to movement. But again, on these types of traveling trips, we like to incorporate some yin. Sometimes we'll work more on breath work and pranayama, as well as getting deep stretch. So those kind of things, are all those little types of yoga are going to be intertwined. I like to customize this too based on who comes on the trip. Some people really want to move slow. Definitely always have people that have injuries or surgeries, and we modify however best we can for you. What's the food like in Cartagena? Oh, my favorite question. Like I said, extremely unique, Caribbean fusion with Central South American flair. They love fish, rice, beans. That's a basic staple. And then add everything else in there. You got tostones. Those are going to be plantains. You're going to get some of these more Cuban inspiration where you have a lot of seasonings coming in from the Caribbean. Jerk chickens. Like I mentioned too, fruits that you have never seen before. So really an opportunity to eat a wide range of anything that you would like to try. I'm sure they have some crazy things there too. I haven't even gotten to. What's the weather like in Cartagena in February? Like I said, mid 80s. So this is wonderful escape from the snow, from the dreary brown winter. This is a great place for us to get by the ocean, to wear the sundresses and your flip-flops again. It's a casual city. You're going to go in areas where it's definitely a little bit nicer. You're going to see people dressed up to be walking around the city or going out to dinner. But the majority of everybody is low key. You know, we walked around in flip-flops and shorts. Nothing like you're going to walk around in a bathing suit all day. It's not that kind of city, but it's tropical. And so you have lots of sundresses, guys in a lot of those really cool guayaba or guadavera, I think I'm saying it right, the awesome tropical shirts, you know, that you see in Mexico a lot. So very casual area. What are the extra costs? Like I said, if you want to do any other activities, you wanted to do any more tipping, as well as those dinners on your nights on your own. So those are going to be your additional costs. But we're hoping that we've kind of bypassed a lot of the extra costs by wrapping in all of the tipping that can happen when we're in Cartagena. So you'll have, you know, things, it's not an inexpensive, but it's not an expensive city. You can definitely get around and get a great meal. For myself, I love to wander out and go and find coffees and espressos in the mornings, and some really great coffee there too. So if you're a coffee drinker, you and I can go wander around. Hopefully I have answered all your questions. I'm going to turn this off. Make sure I didn't miss any chats. Cool. Okay. No chats, no questions. Like I said, the steps from here is to go on our website, read a little bit more about this, send me any questions you have. You can send it through the contact box in the flowyogaadventures.com website, or shoot me an email. The email for the retreats is hello@flowyogaadventures.com. So hello@flowyogaadventures.com. I hope I answered all your questions. I hope you'll really consider joining me on this, snagging some of our last spots we have on this trip. I have capped this trip very specifically so that we don't have a large group. I don't want this to feel like we are a mob going through Cartagena. I want us to feel like it's an intimate trip where we can explore, we have time together, we have time for you to be on your own or whoever you decide to bring with you onto your travels, but really try to get back to enjoying travel, being abroad, seeing other cultures, seeing the world, and noticing just all of the things that we have in common, as well as the unique ways that we handle situations, the way that we cook, the way that we dance, the music we like to listen to. So that's it. That's all I got. It's great to see you. Hopefully you will be joining me here soon in Cartagena. Talk with you soon. Bye.